gonna do a little mini geometry unit to lead into some things that you're gonna look at next year. It's not super intense. It's gonna be like if you can add things, you'll be fine. And we're gonna talk about a little bit of vocabulary. This is actually review from like Math 7 or Math 8 when you do a little bit of geometry. So you'll have to let me know how much of it seems familiar. All right. So this is a line. Do you see how it has arrows on both sides? Okay. There are, well, this says label it 2 ways. There's actually 3 ways you can label it. You can label this X, Y, and just put the little line above it. You can label it YX and put the little arrow above it. And those both mean the same thing. It doesn't matter which direction the letters go because it's a line and it goes forever both ways. And then do you see how it's also called line N? So you can simply just call it line N as well. So 3 different ways you can label that. But it has an arrow on both sides. Do we all understand what a line is? I told you it wasn't going to be that hard. All right. This is a ray, kind of looks like a clock hand. It is part of a line. So one side has the arrow and one side stops and has an end point. There's only one way you can label this. You have to start with the end point and then go in the direction that the arrow is going. So the only way you can label that is TM. If you do MT, that's wrong. So it has to start at the end point and then go in the direction that the arrow is going. All right. So a line, arrow on both sides. A ray has an arrow on one side. A segment is stopped on both sides. Do you see how it doesn't go on forever in either direction? So you can label this AB and you just put a line above it. It doesn't have the arrows on. Or BA. The only one where the order of the letters matters is if it's a ray. And this can be measured. You obviously can't measure these because they go on forever. Like you wouldn't get a measurement of that. All right, congruent is another way of saying equal in geometry. We say 2 amounts are congruent, and this is the symbol for it. It's a little equals with like a squiggly over it, the tilde. It's an equal with a tilde on it. That means congruent. And we use tick marks to show that they're equal. So if you wanted to say WT is congruent to TJ, which is what this says, you put little tick marks on them. And those mean they're congruent. That's all that means. All right, now we're going to check if you guys know how to add things. Part plus a part equals the whole thing. There's instructions there, but it's common sense. If you just pay attention, you're going to be fine. All right, so we have the segment AB. It says D is between A and B. Do we know exactly where it is? No, it just says in between. I'm going to put it right there. It really doesn't matter. It's not to scale. We just don't know. So just throw it in the middle somewhere. This says AD is 2x. So this amount is 2x. I don't know what x is, so I don't know how big that is. It says DB is 6. And then it says AB, which is the whole thing, is 14. Now, you have some common sense. This is not going to be that hard. Please don't talk over me. Part plus part equals whole thing. Who thinks they can set it up? 2x plus 6, good. Good, that's it. That's all that there is to this. No complaining, all right? And then we're going to solve that. So now this is why you have to pass algebra to go to geometries. You have to be able to solve these things. So minus 6, good job. That's going to give you 8. Divide by 2. X is 4. Now, sometimes they want you to find X, and sometimes they want you to find the length of something else. So you need to be really careful. It says to find what? It says find the variable, which we just did, X is 4. But what else does it say to find? Just read. The length of AD. So if this is AD, 2x, what would we do?
Times x by 2.
Yeah, so you would take 4 times 2, and AD equals 8. So that's 8, this is 6, and 8 plus 6 equals 14, is what we did there. Okay, so just make sure you're reading the instructions. So let's try another one. This one we're going to have to draw ourselves. So draw yourself a little segment, and we're going to have to label it. So it says F is between S and V. So this is S, this is V. It does not say where F is. It's just somewhere in between. So just put it on there. I don't know exactly where it is, and the picture is not to scale anyway. We're not getting out a ruler and measuring it or anything. Right? Just good enough. All right, now we're going to label all our things. SF, please don't talk over me, is 3x minus 1. So this part is 3x minus 1. FV is 5. And then it says SV, which is the whole thing, is 6x minus 8. So again, if you have common sense, which most of geometry is, because it's like shapes and stuff, you'll be able to put it together. So how would we set up this one? Good. Plus 5 equals, yep, the whole thing. Now, again, this is why you have to pass this class to go on to geometry, is you have to be able to solve that. So we're going to do like terms, -1 plus 5. We're going to squish our like terms together. That would be 4. And you're kind of just copying the rest of that. Life is like that sometimes. You're going to be okay. And then what? Now you're trying to get the x's together. So do you want to subtract the 6x or the 3x? It's not going to matter. The 3x. All right, I want to keep them positive. So minus the 3x. Do you see how I lined them up? So you're going to have 4 equals 3x minus 8. Good. And then plus 8. You guys got it. I'm going to have to come over here. I ran out of space. Good. 12 equals 3x. Good. Now that gives you x is 4. But then again, sometimes they want you to plug that 4 back in and find something else. You have to read. Find the variables. We just did that. That's x equals 4. And the length of SF. So this one is SF. You would just plug 4 back into that. And who said 11? Good job. Let me get everybody else there. You would do 3 times 4, which is 12, minus 1 is 11. Good job. So just make sure you read the directions. Now, this next part is about midpoints. Without me saying a word, using your common sense, what do you think a midpoint is? Like the point that is in the middle. Very good. Okay. Point that divides it into 2 equal parts because it's in the middle. So now this says M is the midpoint of AB. I know that that is right in the center. The other ones, I didn't know exactly where it was. This one, it says it's the midpoint. So you put it right in the middle. And then you can put these little tick marks in there to show that they're congruent. Congruent is the word in geometry that you use for them. All right. So now this says if AB is 40, so look where I'm pointing. AB is 40. That's the whole thing. AM would be 20. Half of 40 is 20. Now, if we did that the other way, look where I'm pointing. AM here to here is 10. Then MB is also 10. And AB, the whole thing, is 20. Good job. Perfect. See, I told you it wasn't that hard. We got 2 more. Now you're going to have to draw a picture yourself. So draw yourself a little segment, and we're going to label it. I don't want to read to you because that teaches you to not read. What are the end points of the segment? Good. S8. And it says G is the midpoint. So, oops, right in the center. So those are congruent. And then we can start filling stuff in. So it says GH is 20. That means this side is also 20. So I'm going to just go ahead and put, see, I told you it wasn't that hard. All right. And then we're also told FH, which is the whole thing, equals 3x minus 1. And so, yes, you're already there. We would set 3x, bless you, minus 1 equal to 40, because 20 plus 20 is 40. That's the whole thing. And then we're just going to solve that. So what would you do to both sides? Yeah, plus 1. 3x equals 41. Divide by 3. Now that doesn't divide nicely, so I'm going to just leave it as 41 over 3. And we're going to just stop there. I think it just says find x. I wouldn't want to try and plug 41 thirds back into something. All right, try one more. Draw yourself a little segment. And again, I just want you to read what are the end points of our segment. Yeah, B and D, good. You guys are all going to do great in geometry. If you can read and like have common sense, all the pictures make sense. All right, and then what's our midpoint? C, good job. And since it says it's a midpoint, we know these are congruent. I know. And they usually use letters like A, B, C, D. All right, so now we're going to start labeling. BC is 4x minus 5. That means that this is also 4x minus 5. They're congruent, so you can label them both the same thing. And DB, which is the whole thing, is 10x minus 35. Good job. Now it says find x and the length of BD. So we're going to find x, and then we're going to have to plug it back in. So let's set it up. You're going to have part plus part equals whole thing. So 4x minus 5 plus 4x minus 5, they're the same because it was a midpoint, equals, yeah, good. See, you got it. Good job. And again, this is why you have to pass this class to go on to geometry. They're not going to teach you how to solve an equation. It's going to be understood that you know how to do it. So like terms, 4x and 4x, 8x, negative 5 and negative 5, negative 10. Just copying that part down. Life is like that sometimes. You're going to be okay. All right, and then what? We're gonna get all the x's together. It doesn't matter. If you wanted to take it the other way, that's fine. I just did it that way because you guys seemed like you wanted this to stay positive. This will be negative 10 equals 2x minus 35. If you subtracted the other way, you would get a negative 18. We're going to end up with the same answer. Or sorry, not a negative 18. It would be a negative 2. All right, and then add 35. Good. So 25 equals 2x. Yeah, now this is going to be a fraction or a decimal, if you will, but it's not real horrible. It's not like 41/3. It's just 12.5. So that's not too bad. So when it says find the length of BD, that's this one. You have to read, all right? And then you have to look at the correct one. You want to take 12.5 and plug it back in for x there. I'm actually just going to type that in the calculator real quick. Oh, did you do that in your head? 10 times 12.5 and then minus 35 equals 90. I just typed it in the calculator real quick. Again, I just typed 10 times 12.5 minus 35 in the calculator.